This episode is sponsored by Foreman School in Litchfield, Connecticut, a coeducational college preparatory school that empowers bright students who learn differently. To learn more about the nation's first and best co-ed school for high school and postgraduate students with learning differences, go to formanschool.org/about/distraction. Hello and welcome to Distraction. I'm your host, Dr. Ned Hallowell. Thank you for joining me for another listener Q&A episode. How much I love these. Today's question is from a mom by the name of Mary. Mary wrote, "Dear Dr. Hallowell, my 7-year-old daughter Laura was diagnosed with ADHD combined type about a year ago. She is very smart and does well academically, but school is still a struggle. She gets overwhelmed very easily, and she falls apart crying or has screaming meltdowns in class frequently. This was only made worse by the changes made to schools with in-person learning during the pandemic. Her teacher can't hug her to help her feel secure. What strategies can you suggest to help kids with ADHD manage their emotions and have less overwhelming feelings? Thank you, Mary." Well, it's COVID has made everything more difficult, but my first question you didn't mention, is she on medication? So medication is the easiest intervention we've got, and if it does work, it works about 80% of the time, that would help Laura right there. So if she is not on medication, and as long as you're not opposed to it for some reason, I would get her a trial of medication because it makes all the other interventions that much easier. And then you want to really push physical exercise. The more running around she can do at home, at school, what have you, the less likely she'll be emotionally labile. And the same thing with sleep. Make sure she's getting good sleep. And then the other component that matters so much is connection. And while her teacher may not be able to hug her, her teacher can hug her with her words. Her teacher can say, "That's okay, you're doing well, we all love you here, you're great, you're safe, don't worry," just lay it on. A verbal hug in many ways is even better. If you have beanbags in your classroom, she could also crawl under a beanbag. These are great for littler kids, and grade school age, elementary school age. You can get these beanbags that weigh 100 pounds or more, and the child crawls under, obviously with her head sticking out, and it's very reassuring. It's like a hug, only it's a beanbag that's providing the hug. So that feeling of being hugged really does help contain emotion. I hope those suggestions are useful to you, Mary, and thank you so much for writing in. Well, that'll do it for today's episode. Thank you, Mary, for sending in your question, and thank you, Foreman School in Litchfield, Connecticut, for sponsoring this episode. And please, please, please keep asking me your questions. Record your question as a voice memo, or write an email like Mary did, and send it to connect@distractionpodcast.com. That's connect@distractionpodcast.com. Distraction is created by Sounds Great Media. This episode was recorded and produced by the amazingly talented Sarah Guertin. I'm Dr. Ned Hallowell, and thanks so much for listening. The episode you just heard was sponsored by the Foreman School in Litchfield, Connecticut. Foreman gives students who learn differently the resources to discover what they care about, to find success in a huge range of fields, and to just be themselves beyond their diagnoses. Learn more about the nation's first and best co-ed school for high school and postgraduate students with learning differences at formanschool.org/about/distraction.